All right. Hello. Sorry, guys. I was late to sitting down for a second. All right. So I want to do this live really quick because something just dropped on X about a leaked phone call between Gary from Paramount Tactical and Mitch Snow. So we're going to start going over that. We'll give everyone a couple minutes to get in here and then we'll start going over it. Hey, how is everybody? I don't know. I've never streamed for 9 hours. Couldn't tell you, and I doubt I ever would. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome in. I'm just giving a couple minutes before we get started because then I have a feeling people will pop in and then we don't want to have to start over. So let's give everyone a couple minutes to get in here. And then we'll go over this leaked footage. Let me start pulling it up, guys. So we're just really quick gonna watch and listen to the Gary Paramount Tactical leaked audio of him and Mitch. I don't know how many of you guys are aware of what's going on, but apparently him and Nate, this was leaked by Stu Peters. Stu Peters is the one who leaked that. Well, who put it on X first, who had the leaked footage. Who leaked it to him, I don't know. So let's see what we got here. Okay. So let's just pull this up and we're just going to watch this together. So it's a 2-hour call, by the way. I don't think we should listen to all of it. There's actually another clip. We'll play the 2-minute version first, actually, just to like kind of, let's pull this one down and let's start with this other one. But it was a 2-hour call that he did with, hello, Alicia, how are you? He did a 2-hour call with Mitch Snow. And basically him and Valhalla were like, see, Valhalla wasn't in on the call, but Gary mentions Valhalla. So I don't know if he was on the call and didn't talk. I don't know. But basically questioning him about his military service and if he is who he is. And played all nice with him, as we heard on the X Live that Candace did. And then they turned around and did the opposite to him. So let's go ahead and just listen to this call. So we're going to listen to this 2-minute clip first.
The last thing I want to be in the middle of. This whole thing was the last thing. At the same time, I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to lie for nobody. No offense, I've lost too much in my life. There ain't nothing you can pay me. And as far as like what I'm going to put this, so in case you're taking notes, I ain't taking a damn cent from Candace Owens. My heart goes up. Like, I am so humbled by the support she put out there that she's intended to do a fundraiser for me. And from what I hear, that there's an account building, and until you guys vet go ahead and air my dirty laundry and let me defend it, whatever. I don't plan to take a cent from this. All I want justice for me and my son. I've told Candace Owens this. That's what I was seeking when I went down there. This is all a distraction. It has sucked all the air out of the room. And I hope we get past it. I hope you guys do find all the answers. What I can say is there ain't you can't pay me $1 to lie. I know what I saw. I think I do. And I'm typically pretty damn good at that stuff. And it's unfortunately not a gift. It's a curse as well, as you're starting to see. So.
Well, I think Mitch, you and I are on the same page. And like I said, no matter what, I'm not going to do you dirty. Definitely not going to dox you or anything crazy like that.
Yeah, you came at me a little bit hard on there. I saw a little bit of it, but you know, again.
Oh, yeah. No, I did.
I'm an SF guy that's sort of disconnected from SF, and you're like, the hell, I ain't heard of this guy before. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
No.
And that's why I wanted to reach out to you personally.
I'm glad you did.
And you know, I think that's the right thing to do. And so, like I said, man, you know, everything checks out. You're not going to have a bigger advocate than me and Nate for sure. I promise you.
I appreciate that. And if I don't know what else you guys need to check out, but yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay, so that was 2 minutes of the clip. I can play the very beginning of it. I do think that it's interesting because, you know, it seems like Gary's having a lot of meltdowns here between accidentally showing, you know, the text messages that Andrew Colvett sent him, reading them aloud, showing them on screen, turns around and interviews Mitch Snow's son, and the son actually confirms the 9th. I think, and I say this in the nicest way, Gary probably needs to take an internet break, in my opinion. Maybe a technology break in general. I don't know why we're spending so much time trying to discredit Mitch Snow when if we put that much effort into the case in general, figuring out what happened to Charlie, and if people were actually there that day that he is saying that he saw, we would probably have this whole thing figured out. But instead, we've spent more time and energy trying to discredit Mitch. So very, very odd. I also thought it was really wrong to sit there and say, you will have no bigger advocate than me and Nate. And then he turned around and absolutely publicly tried to humiliate Mitch. To me, I mean, the dishonesty and the disingenuousness of it was, I don't like that. I'm sorry. Like, at least be honest and be like, hey, I want to know what's going on because I don't believe you. Maybe by the end of it, say, I still don't believe you. I just don't like that. Why do that? So to me, he was extremely nice to Mitch, made Mitch feel comfortable enough to have the conversation with him. And then afterwards, what he did to him after is really sad. So we can go over more of it if you want me to play most of we can go over we can play the 2-hour clip and at least hear the beginning. Because how he kind of presents himself was interesting too. If you guys want, we can play that one. Yeah, I think Gary's lost a lot of credibility in this. I think most of that came probably from the call with or the text with Andrew. So if you guys want, we can go through the whole call. Also, that first clip was Project Constitution. So thank you to him for clipping that part. And then we'll go now and we'll just listen to the beginning of the call. Because like I said, Stu Peters dropped the entire thing. So let's listen to some of that since you guys want to. And we'll kind of talk a little bit as we go.
Yeah, hi, is this Mitch?
Yeah, who's this?
This is Gary Melton. How are you?
Gary who?
My name is Gary Melton.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? Yeah, so I'm a former First Fit guy. I saw your interview with Candace. And I just had a few questions for you.
You do? Okay, are we being recorded or anything? Are we being... Let me jump into my car here. Yeah, talk to Mr. Valhalla. He had some ideas. Well, and who are you again? Your Nick, Nate, Gary. Sorry, Nelson?
Just a second. Melton, M-E-L-T-O-N.
Okay.
Gary Milton.
All right. What kind of questions you got for me?
Well, I'd like to know a little bit more about. I'd like to know a little bit more about your history. You're kind of saying that you're, a former SF guy.
Yeah.
When did you go to the Q course?
Oh, back in 1991. I can get you the class date probably in a few.
Okay. Would it be possible for you to say, look, if your story checks out, I'm all about it, man. I don't want to, I'm not here to do you dirty or anything like that, but obviously we have a regiment and we take that stuff very seriously.
Uh-huh.
Would it be possible for you to send me your DD-214?
Sure. The only thing you haven't done is told me who you're with.
Oh, so I'm with, basically like Valhalla, I have a YouTube channel, Paramount Tactical. I know Nate. I just talked to Nate yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he's a good guy, by the way. I'm a fan of his.
We're great. We're good friends, and
Okay.
I see. Yeah. So if you could send me your DD-214, and we can verify your story, and we can get to the bottom of. We all want the truth.
Sure.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. That's actually what we're all trying to do. Did it just switch
how long were you at group?
How long were you at group? Sorry, the phone's switching to Bluetooth.
We're switching to Bluetooth
okay.
here give it a minute for the fight for the Bluetooth here.
No worries.
Oh, there it goes.
How long was I in group?
Yes, sir.
About from 93, what was it, March? Let's say February, March of 93 until November 15 November 1996.
You said, say it a little more time for me.
February, March.
So I hear people in the chat or see people in the chat are asking who the other voice is. So this is Mitch Snow with Gary from Paramount Tactical. I don't know exactly what documents Nate had. From what I saw when I looked into that live, he was just had stuff typed into a Word document. So I also didn't sit through that entire live.
February, March of 93 until 15 November 96.
And what was your MOS?
18 Charlie.
Now I know in some of the other documents and stuff, you said you were a medic as well.
I went through the 300 F1 course. Broke my back there down in Fort Sam, Houston. It was just something stupid, Sergeant Dagnon. You can probably look him up on SF Brothers. He's a good guy, but also I think every one of us are assholes. I was just one of the young guys that he convinced to go up to. I was known for going up the Guadalupe River between Fort Sam and between San Antonio and Austin. Yep. Great place to go vacation, all that stuff. And in the summertime, they float down the river and the girls show us all their tits and stuff. It's a fun time. I was young, honey.
I know, I get it.
I'm a guy, you like that part. So look, I was known for going up there, and we were running into a problem qualifying guys, getting them their jumps in for hazardous duty pay. He knew I was going up there, so I took the route he told me, but we didn't, count on the fact that winter there'd been a what do you call this thing? A sinkhole that developed there, and it ate away at the little cliff, and I ended up falling like 60 feet. I broke my everything, broke all the tarsals in my feet, calcaneus, both calcaneuses, left kneecap,
shredded in half. I had to squeeze that back on. Lower lumbar, first, second, and third lumbars. Later on, we found out that I also had broken my C5 and 6. Complete dislocation of left arm, torn labrum.
So I'm just going to pause it for a minute because how sad is it that this guy is explaining his life away to him, thinking that this is a genuine conversation. Again, it has nothing to do with what he's seen or didn't see. At the end of the day, his background really, as long as he was a Green Beret and that was verified that he was actually in the military and he was actually at the fort that day, I don't see what any of this other stuff has to do with anything. And I'm also reading in the chat that people were saying that Valhalla did have proof that he was in the military and that he was a Green Beret. So again, I don't understand what this 2-hour call was that Gary had to do with him. It doesn't sound like Valhalla was on that call. It sounded like Gary was just like using him as like, oh, this is my friend, you know, that kind of thing. So, but let's continue with this.
You're lucky. You're lucky. You're not only lucky that you are alive. You're lucky you can still even walk.
It was that's a God thing. There was a colonel. Hold on, I remember his name. He's a good guy. Starts with Firth. Colonel Firth. He was in charge of the 300 F1 course back then, and he wanted me to go right back into the course because they couldn't recycle people back then. We didn't have enough slots, and that was like the first time I ever stood up for myself, and I said, "Look, people, I'm broken head to toe. I need some time off." I told them I have to go home for a little bit, and I think I took 3 weeks. I went home and climbed mountains. I'm an idiot. But they put me in a Jewett brace. I came back and I had to get recycled into the next class, but they wouldn't be able to get me in for like a year or so. But I was right at the point of starting the internship, and then that's right before they sent me back to Bragg for Goat Lab. So I pretty much I did the internship at the Brookhaven Medical Center burn ward.
Yeah.
So I was in the middle of that when all this happened.
So did you ever go to an ODA?
ODA 163166. Yeah.
I'm sorry, 163?
163
Uh-huh.
and 166.
So you were a first group?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So was that? Yeah, I was on 183, 185.
Oh, so you're an old dog too, because you got the old numbers. All right.
Yeah. They actually, when I got there, we actually switched to.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. We have people asking, explain, please. I just got here. This is just a conversation between Paramount Tactical and Mitch Snow. He obviously called Mitch to try to apparently figure out if he was really military. He's trying to figure out if Mitch is a credible witness because he claimed that he saw certain people at Fort Huachuca and the hotel close by on September 8th and 9th. And so that's what they're talking about. So that's what we were listening to. I also saw someone say more distracting, useless information. It's not that it's useless information. To me, yeah, listening to the whole video is probably pointless because it's going to go over Mitch's background. Bottom line is he's a Green Beret. The whole point is it's like an ambush. You know what I'm saying? Where clearly they already knew that he was really a Green Beret. And yet Gary still thought he should call him and be disingenuous and tell him, oh, well, if you prove, if everything checks out, I'll be your biggest supporter, and then turn around and like character assassinate this dude all over the place. The fact that how they went about this, how this was all treated, to me, makes the Fort Huachuca story even more important rather than less, because they're working overtime to try to smear his name and character assassinate him about things that are irrelevant to whether he saw what he saw or not. And we still have no alibis for the people that supposedly, allegedly were there that day. And they're not denying it. They're actually trying to create fake alibis, which should really concern everybody. That should say more to you. But because I say I will always bring you guys whatever drops on X, whatever's newest, I brought this to the forefront. Wanted you guys to hear the beginning of it and hear, a small clip of it so you guys can see that this was done under, disingenuous pretenses. So, like I said, it was all to discredit Mitch. It was never to prove anything about his military experience. It was to character assassinate him about personal things. And he says in a portion of the call, he talks about how he already knows that his past is going to come out. And he knows that this is going to cause him a lot of trouble. He knows that this is not going to be like the best thing for him. He didn't ask for the money. He told Candace he didn't want the money. He didn't plan for her to bring up any kind of fundraising. Bottom line is I don't care about anything other than the fact that if he was at the fort that day, did he see the people that were there? And why are the people that are supposedly there cannot provide proof that they were there or not? I care nothing else about the noise around this. Anybody who thinks that, oh, well, he did vile things. Okay, well, there's people that are in prison that are witnesses in testimony against another prisoner who divulged information to them, et cetera, et cetera. They still are credible witnesses in court. It happens all the time. Bad people witness bad things. Hello. So anybody who says that, or says otherwise, I mean, there's really not much to not understand there. So what would Mitch gain by coming out and actually bringing this information out, knowing that his whole life is going to be torn into? He came forward knowing this was going to cause him more problems than it was anything. Thank you, Kristen. She said, who here hasn't lied ever? Yes, Kristen and I have talked about this 1,000 times. I'm like, have all of you in the chat never lied before? So does that mean because you've ever told a lie that you never tell the truth? So we should believe nothing you say, because that means every single person walking this earth would never be credible or believable. That's ridiculous to even say. We got a lot of people nowadays walking around holier than thou that act like they've never made a mistake or done something bad. It's crazy. So, bottom line is, let's see if you can't see that you've only gotten the ex's viewpoint. Also, just because your past is shady doesn't, sorry guys, I'm trying to read this, doesn't mean you can't change. Exactly. I've talked about that numerous times. Numerous times. Can you imagine if all of us were judged and labeled on our past or like things we did in our 20s? None of us would have good reputations. I'll be honest. None of us. We'd all be screwed. The fundraising was for his security protection. Oh, I didn't know that. And Candace hasn't even released the funds yet. She hasn't even given him the money yet. So I don't know. The fact that this was leaked, we'll see what Candace has to say on Monday, but we shall see. So either way, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other documentation that's come out too about the ex, I believe, and there's all kinds of questionable things that are going on. Either way, it's all just a bunch of drama. The bottom line is if the people that were supposedly there, if they were there, that's a problem. If they weren't there, we need to prove that we were elsewhere. So my whole point with this was, if this is how he got him on the phone and got to speak with him, how does that make Gary credible, doing this all under like false pretenses? And literally saying, "Oh, well, I'll be your biggest advocate," and like talking to him like he's a friend, talking to him all nice, and, "Oh no, I totally understand," and you know what I mean? Like basically kissing ass and then turning around and talking crap. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not a good look. Alicia, I can't wait until Candace comes back. This 2-week break she's been in has been so long, it's driving me crazy. Yeah, I think a lot of people are excited for her to come back. That's for sure. What group was he with? If he's a Green Beret, I can go back. He talks about that. I don't remember what he said. I can go back. Let's see.
I don't want to, I'm not here to do you dirty or anything like that, but, obviously we have a regiment and, we take that stuff very seriously. Would it be possible for you to send me your DD-214?
Sure. The only thing you haven't done is you haven't told me who you're with.
Oh, so I'm with, basically, like Valhalla, I have a YouTube channel, Paramount Tactical. I know Nate. I just talked to Nate yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, he's a good guy, by the way. I'm a fan of his.
We're great. We're good friends, and
Okay.
I see. Yeah. So if you could send me your DD-214, and we can verify your story, and we can get to the bottom of. We all want the truth.
Sure.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. That's actually what we're all trying to do. Did it just switch
how long were you at group?
How long were you at group? Sorry, the phone's switching to Bluetooth.
We're switching to Bluetooth
okay.
here give it a minute for the fight for the Bluetooth here.
No worries.
Oh, there it goes.
All right. How long was I in group?
Yes, sir.
About from 93, what was it, March? I want to say February, March of 93 until 15 November 1996.
You said, say it one more time for me.
February, March.
February, March
of
of 93 until 15 November 96.
And what was your MOS?
18 Charlie.
Now I know in some of the other documents stuff, you said you were a medic as well.
I went through the 300 F1 course, broke my back there down in Fort Sam, Houston. It was just something stupid, Sergeant Dagnon. You can probably look him up on SF Brothers. So he's a good guy, but also I think every one of us are assholes. I was just one of the young guys that he convinced to go up to. I was known for going up to Guadalupe.
So, yeah, you can just hear that Gary was actually trying to like befriend him, you know what I mean? Act like they were friends. I'm just here to talk to you. I just want to like verify you are who you are, that you were in the military, and then totally turned around and flipped. So But like I said, in the meantime, we still have a ton of silence from Erica. She's completely failed, to give any kind of alibi, except for the disaster that happened on Gary's show live, which was unbelievable. And Cabot Phillips can't seem to get one together either. I don't know if you guys, I know a lot of people don't have X, so let me pull this up. But Cabot Phillips actually tried to give an alibi with a statement from his basically when you log into your banking online. And what he did was he took a screenshot and was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll have to dispute this charge from the grocery store." And it was, I think that receipt was actually for like September 8th, I think. I'm going to try to find it for you guys right now. But basically, he was, oh, I got a dispute right here. Let's pull this up so you guys could see this. So this was him attempting to give his alibi. Well, people who all have, I believe it's Citibank, all said that when you look at the picture, I guess when they looked at the full picture, which I think this is now changed, the login is supposed to be with a capital C, and his app had a lowercase c, so it was obviously not a real screenshot of him being logged into his bank. But this was his attempt at an alibi, Mr. Cabot Phillips. And then we will click on the other attempt that Diligent posted. And it says, exposed, Cabot Phillips Fort Huachuca alibi photos are full of inconsistencies. People magazine is issued weekly, changed religiously often in advance of the next week's issue. The issue behind Cabot is from 9/1/25, Helen Myron. It should have been 9/8, Ron Howard. So this is also from the Publix, which I find it interesting. Who takes selfies in the Publix line when you're paying? Am I the only one who doesn't do that? But that's another alibi that didn't go well for him. Did Cabot work for tpusa before Charlie's passing? Not to my knowledge. Obviously, him and Charlie were friends, but I don't think he was speaking at their events and such, no. So now we have on Gary, Paramount Tactical, Erica, well, really Andrew Colvette, not being able to provide Erica's alibi that she attempted correctly. We have Cabot Phillips with 2 fake attempts because we have this video in Publix, and then we have this fake screenshot of his bank account, allegedly, because of the login. The login does not look like everyone else's Citibank login. And Brian Harpool can only provide us a receipt for buying flights, which doesn't prove that you got on the flight. So again, all the people that were there cannot prove that they weren't there. So again, and then you have Mitch Snow being attacked like this. It's not looking good. Yeah, the selfie in Publix it's so funny. It's as good as watching Terrell Farnsworth selfie video himself on top of those rocks. Like, who thinks to do that in these moments? Like, do you stand in the grocery store line when you're in a rush to get something, or when you're trying to get your grocery shopping done, you think, hey, I better take a photo while I'm in this line? It would be super aesthetic of a photo. What? I mean, it's just weird. Very, very weird. So that's been circulating on X. And it just makes you wonder. I mean, if there's nothing to hide, why are we doing these things? It's just weird. And he's not really doing anything since all this came about to super try to fight it. This is Project Constitution when he talks about, let's see. Oh, this is before I think he realized what was going on, I think. Because there were people that were saying, let's look this up again. At first, I think they thought they got it wrong, but then they realized they had it right. So let's see where this is again. That's not it. There was like a whole thing too about his beard on X, which was kind of, sorry guys, kind of funny. Going on about like when he shaved his beard, did he pre-film? Let's see what Candace Owens' X looks like right now in a whim. Let's just see because I haven't checked today. I went on and I saw that the conversation between Mitch and them dropped. So let's see if she has. Looks like 17 hours ago was the last time that she posted about all this. She said, look, I have no idea who is over at the CIA that is responsible for psychological operations, but this Charlie Kirk one has failed miserably. Please just end it. There is no amount of our tax dollars that you can spend that can convince us that Charlie was assassinated by a furry trans named Tyler Robinson who was acting alone. Do we really need to carry this nonsense into 2026? Frankly, the entire operation was sloppy. And the subsequent, you all have to pretend things make sense because people are grieving, has lost its touch. I don't know who sat back at the office and was like, all we need is Tim Pool to scream, Ben Shapiro to stomp his feet, and a lot of pyrotechnics, but that employee needs to be fired. Please end this. It's so stupid it hurts. And I'm with her. I'm over all of this. I think this is absolutely ridiculous. So there was that. And I also feel like there was something else I wanted to show you guys, but I can't remember what it was. Let's see. Yeah, anybody calling names and being rude in the chat, like you're just going to get blocked. So I'm just going to let you know now, like if it's worth it to you to say something nasty, you'll be out of here. You'll be done saying nasty things. So just saying. I'm going to go through the comments a little bit and see what you guys are saying. Candace has an update on Cabot's December 30th. Not that I see. Oh, wait, I got to go back to December 30th. Sorry, guys. January 1st. Let's see what this says. Okay. Update. Cabot Phillips has responded to my text to clarify matters. We weren't imagining things. His beard didn't magically grow overnight, as some suggested. He pre-recorded the segment. Oh, this is about the beard thing, but it has nothing to do with the problems with the bank statement, and it doesn't have anything to do with the magazines that he selfied with that do not match. So to my knowledge, that has not. Yeah, the beard thing has been debunked, but not. See, this is the beard thing she's talking about. That has nothing to do with the bank statements. I saw Candace say someone had a beard, and then they did, not in the photo, not sure who she referred to. It's Cabot Phillips. He pre-recorded stuff, so that was where that came from. But either way, that's what she's addressing right here on December 30th. She's not addressing the fact that the bank login allegedly is not a true bank login. The photo was manipulated along with the selfie in Publix, where the magazine rack does not add up for what those magazines would be for the issues of the week. So he's been caught in several different debacles there. Let's see. Okay, so we already went over the beard thing. Let's see. There was something else interesting that I saw on here. Let's go to Project Constitution's page while we're at it, because I could have swore. Wow, I can't even type this morning. The coffee hasn't kicked in yet. Let's go to his page really quick, because I swear there was something interesting that I saw this morning. No, so we already went over that part of the call. Where is it? This is kind of hard to believe. This story that's spinning on X right now about Erica and JD Vance, secret siblings from Ohio. I mean, they do kind of look similar. But I mean, that's kind of far-fetched, but that's one that's out there right now. That would be really bizarre. But I guess, yeah, when you look at the eyebrows and stuff, kind of looks a little bit similar. Kind of weird, honestly. We've already talked about this with the Rothstein thing, her cousin Nicole, her family tree, and how that goes back to the Royals. We've talked about that. Let's see. There was something else that was about the trial. See, this is more the video of Mitch Snow that leaked. People were dropping lots of that. Let's see what this is, because I didn't see this 15-hour. Maybe this is what I saw. So it says alert, high level USAF jet hits all the suspicious spots right before Charlie's death. The exploding mic theory just got a whole lot wilder. Observation, unusual SAM 650 itinerary, early September 2026. It says flight tracking data shows U.S. Air Force Gulfstream C-37A SAM 650, a special air mission aircraft typically used for VIP transport, followed the route. So on 9-4 Wilmington, Delaware to Joint Base Andrews September 4th, on 9-5 Joint Base Andrew to Nashville, Tennessee to Joint Base Andrews. 9-5, this multi-leg journey occurred shortly before additional activity involving call sign RCH 702 on September 6th. The flight destination raised serious eyebrows. Wilmington, Delaware, home base of the powerful DuPont dynasty, high-level political players, and the infamous hangar tied to those suspicious Egyptian planes, plus visits from French dignitaries. Joint Base Andrews, the go-to hub for VIP executive airlift, think Air Force One ops. Nashville, ground zero for key figures and events in the ongoing Charlie Kirk investigation. These aren't random stops in a case full of elite connections and shadowy movements. These locations scream significance, coincidence, or coordinated. Of particular interest is the relevance to current investigation or investigative threads, including the exploding microphone theory. Each continue to generate analysis regarding the sequence of events and physical evidence from the September 10 incident. These flight patterns warrant further scrutiny to determine potential connections to key individuals or developments under review. Flight data source, public ADS-B tracking records. And so let's just turn that off so we don't get in trouble with the copyright of the music, but that's kind of going over the flights. So that was something that was new that came up yesterday as well. So we'll see what else comes out. So let's see. Yeah, this is off Project Constitution's page. I know that he vets whatever leads he gets. I'm sure he looked into it. We're just going to read through some of these comments. So I just wanted to get on here and kind of go over the Mitch Snow thing. Okay, we can go through and block this person. Just Kristen will figure out where they're at. Or I can do it. I have it. Kristen, if I got it. Okay. So those are just like a couple things that were interesting. There was a piece of the mic still on his shirt. You can see it. If it exploded, it would have at the very least burnt or ripped the shirt, and pieces of it would remain on the shirt. Yeah, I watched that interview, and the guy talked about I think it was the chemicals that are in there. And as far as like I think the temperature goes, like I mean, I watched this when it first came out on, I think it was Trigger Smart, that there wouldn't be those kinds of burns, essentially, like you would think. So if you guys haven't watched that video, I recommend that. So we'll see. I don't know. It's during the time they're removing the SD card. I don't think anyone was paying attention to what was in his hands. He said he saw. Yeah. So he's not saying that she was at the meeting. And he didn't say her name. He said someone who just, he remembers the eyes, and he described how the person looked. So that was the whole thing with that. So those are kind of like the things that are going on. But like I said, it all comes back to we still don't have the whereabouts of anybody who was there that day that Mitch Snow is claiming was there. So I don't know. Everybody needs to provide that information. And we still don't have it. So I'm not going to be totally against Mitch because right now it's looking like there's more to it because of how people are acting regarding this entire Fort Huachuca story and Mitch Snow. Yep. I think there's a lot of distractions going on. If you are slow to the convo, the leak convo is towards the beginning. Rewind the video. Yeah, I played several clips of it. So if you want to listen to that, you can go back to the beginning of the live. But I already played the 2-minute leaked portion by Project Constitution. And there's also the full 2 hours that Stu Peters leaked. That was done in the beginning of the video. He said he went to, let's see. Huachuca to get his records. You can get your records from the VA, or you put in paperwork through your local office to get records. There's several ways, I'm sure, to get records, and I don't think it really matters. Like if he wanted to go there to get his records, it doesn't matter. There's no rule against that, so that's what he did. I mean, bottom line. My husband's prior military, so I'm aware of how the VA works. Let's see. Finally caught you live. Welcome, welcome. I'm not totally against anyone except for tpusa and Gary this far. Yeah, this whole situation's just a disaster to say the least. So maybe Mitch wasn't at the fort for records. Maybe someone gave him a tip to be there and take photos. Irrelevant. He saw what he saw. Yeah, none of it matters. That I don't really care why he was there. He was there. He saw what he saw. That's it. Bottom line, give me the alibis if you weren't there. Simple. I don't care about anything else. So I really don't care why he was there, what he says he was doing there. It's all irrelevant to me. Hello, everyone. The story gets wilder every day. It sure does, Elena. It's wild. Have you seen what Project Constitution is finding on Erica's family? Yes, I've gone over several parts of Erica's family in previous videos on my page. But yes, we just went over, the little part where they're talking about, I don't know, now it's getting a little bit like to be like, okay, like this is getting to be absolutely ridiculous, talking about like JD being related to her and all this craziness. But yes, I've seen everything about her family and, her ties to Nicole Rothstein. Very familiar with all that, the mob ties, all that stuff. I've posted several videos on that stuff. So was Nate Vahala on the call or no? That's hard to say because you never hear him talk. So was he sitting on there silently? I don't know. It's possible. Or Gary was using him as like a way, like a tool, like, oh, well, I'm friends with Vahala, so that maybe Gary or so that Mitch would talk to him, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. Alicia, I totally agree with you. Thank you. Let's see. I wonder what Tyler knows. Well, we won't know because they don't let him talk, and the defense is being chosen by the prosecution, and all kinds of weird stuff's going on there. So I don't know. Yes, he could go to Huachuca, but he made going there sound necessary. It wasn't. Yeah, either way, like I said, I don't care why he went there. He was there. He saw what he saw. It's all the other stuff is just noise. Provide the alibis if you weren't there, and let's move on. I heard Gary is going to take over the Jerry Springer show. Yeah, by the looks of it. That's what this has turned into. Maury. It's crazy. There are 3 or 4 channels that just make up stuff on everything. They're easy to spot, though. Yeah, you can tell, like, I think who you listen to if they're decent people or not. And did you know that all American presidents are related to one another? I don't know. We're not going to get into any of that stuff. We're strictly talking about Mitch Snow and Gary and what's going on with the Kirk investigation. We're going to stay on topic. Brian, that's funny. Made me laugh out loud. Nate was not on the call. Yeah, I don't think to me, like I said, you don't hear him talk. So you have to assume that he wasn't. I mean, it could have been a 3-way call where he didn't talk. I don't know. I don't trust Gary, the guys at tpusa or Erica, too much cover up and untruths about things. Yeah, once we have so many lies, blatant lies, to me, I think that's saying the quiet part out loud. It's sad that Mitch thought they were connecting and he felt safe to talk only to be betrayed. Yeah, Lena, I don't think that was fair. I think he should have just been honest about how he felt and why he wanted to talk to him, and that should have happened. But I think then he knew Mitch probably wouldn't talk to him, and it was about getting him to talk. And I don't know. The whole thing was just deceitful, and I don't know. I don't like how people are moving around this whole situation. It's shady. Even mainstream left media is not calling EK out. Just bizarre. Yeah, something's weird about this whole Erica Kirk thing. It's she's untouchable, apparently. Let's see. Well, I need evidence of what he saw. Trust but verify. Yeah, like I said, I think people need to provide alibis for where they were that day that were supposedly seen there. And it's already been proven that Mitch was there. But the people that were supposedly there can't provide alibis that they weren't. So I don't know if we're ever going to be able to find footage that proves that they were there or not. I don't know. We may never be able to see that. So I don't know. Like I said, what would Mitch have to gain by coming out and saying what he saw? It's causing him nothing but a headache. If anything, he's blown his own life up by trying to do the right thing and be honest. Police records and his son confirm he was there. Exactly. Elena, Gary looks foolish and shady. He threw away his reputation for tpusa. Bad choice. Yeah, it was bad when he went on there when Candace was having her meeting with Erica. That was bad. The live where he accidentally read out Andrew Colvette's text messages and showed those on screen, that was like really bad. And then after that, the son being on there and confirming Mitch's alibi. Well, not alibi, story of being there. Wasn't helpful for him. And then now this leaked audio. Oh, which by the way, I'm going to put this out there. Gary is threatening. He says he's going to sue. I got to pull this up. He said he's going to sue Stu Peters for for releasing that footage. I forgot to tell you guys. So he's going to sue. Actually, let's share Gary's behavior on X because you guys don't have X. Really quick. We're not going to stay in live much longer. But let's just look at Gary's X because it is kind of funny. So 8 hours ago, he says, these people's brains are broken. I call Mitch to get his story, real investigatory work. He legally records the call. They conveniently leave 30 minutes out of it. And I'm the deceitful one. Makes total sense. So now he's threatening to sue Stu Peters and Candace Owens and Mitch Snow. He's threatening to sue everybody. And I find that very interesting that Gary is going to sue. And depending on where you live, recording the call is not illegal. So I don't know where Gary lives, but depending on where you live, it's not illegal to record a phone call without consent. So I don't know if anyone knows where he lives. Yeah, depending on the state, if it's one party state, Gary doesn't have a leg to stand on. Exactly. So we shall see. Yes, Gary talked to Valhalla. Valhalla did not speak to Mitch. That's what I figured. It's legal in Arizona. So my question is, but where is Gary from? Where does Gary live and where does Mitch live? They resort to lawfare. Checks out. Is it confirmed that Mitch recorded the phone call or is it just a rumor? We just watched it. No, it's literal footage that Mitch is getting into his car. Like I could show you him getting into his car. Like I'll take this down for a second and then we'll look at this again. But we'll pull back up this footage. It's Mitch and he is recording like he would with a camera, obviously not his face. So this is not a, oh, I didn't even have it on the screen. Here we go. So this is not a bot video. This is just to show you a couple seconds of it.
Yeah, who's this?
This is Gary Melton. How are you?
Gary who?
My name is Gary Melton.
Yeah.
What's going on, man? Yeah, so I'm a former First Group guys. I saw your interview with Candace. And I just had a few questions for you.
You do? Okay, are we being recorded or anything?
So that's just to show you that like there's video footage. It's not like a bot made up video. His spouse is in the background. We'll go ahead and bring up Gary's ex again. Where are Charlie's parents? They were probably told not to say a word to anybody. That's where Charlie's parents are. Let's see. Gary better call Saul. Oh gosh, that's so funny. Yeah. That is all Gary. That's what I think. To me, I don't think that Valhalla was on the call. He says he spoke to Valhalla twice. Yeah, I think he spoke with Valhalla separately. But I think people were still questioning, like, was he on that call at all? I mean, he technically could be on the call and not be saying anything, but I don't think he was. Well, Mitch recorded it too. You mean Gary recorded it too? This is Mitch's recording. You're right. Doesn't mean Mitch was in Washington when this happened. True, but I think it goes by wherever you reside. Seems like Gary just wants money. Alicia, I don't even know what to think of Gary at this point. You think after, the first couple things that happened, he would, maybe take a break. But yeah, so you have to, some states are two-party states, correct. So it depends on the state that people reside. I don't know where these people live. Gary told Mitch he lives in West Virginia, so look up West Virginia, whatever the laws are. Is it confirmed that Mitch recorded the phone call, or is it, oh yeah, we already talked about this, yes. It's obviously recorded by Mitch. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yes, sorry guys, I never remember to say that in my lives. Sorry to hear this. I subbed his channel, no longer. Yeah, why did Tactical say the Huachuca thing was so important to Mitch, his best friend? Why did Tactical say Huachuca thing was so important to... I don't know. Nova Hala said during one of his last streams he's never spoke to Mitch in any capacity. I'm pretty sure that they spoke. And I also heard that, I'm pretty sure, I don't know for a fact, but I thought that's what I heard. Also, I'm pretty sure Mitch Snow, I don't know if he contacted him via like super chat or something. I've heard. I don't know. I don't watch Valhalla very much at all. Coincidence, these podcasters are ex-military. I don't think just because you're ex-military makes you a shady person. I don't. Once again, we can't be generalizing things and people. Single party consent state, West Virginia. So see, I don't know. Gary's claiming he's going to sue Stu Peters, Mitch Snow, and Candace Owens. Focus on facts. It will save you heartache. I have no heartache. I have no skin in this game. I'm just bringing the information that popped up on X this morning. And that's all I'm doing. So there's no heartache here about this. You would think Gary would appreciate Mitch recording, but instead he's pissed. It shows him for what he is. And then he's saying that there's 30 minutes missing. So I don't know. We'll probably never know. But we'll see if he actually attempts to sue anybody. Gary and Mitch sounded like best friends on the entire phone call. Yeah, they did. Gary definitely made it seem like they were buddies. What does Candace Owens have to do with this phone call? So what is the basis of a suit against her? Ask Gary. I'm just relaying what was put out there. I don't know. That's a good question. Ask Gary. So, yeah, we can leave it here. I do think Andrew Colvett. I think Andrew Colvett is being put in a bad position. I don't know that he had some sinister part in a plot. I don't think I believe that. But I do think that he is backed into a corner right now. I do think I wouldn't be surprised if they fully throw him under the bus to try to blame things on him. And I think if I was him, I would probably be working to get somewhere safe and then whistleblow to save my own behind. But that's my opinion, and my opinion doesn't really matter because it's not me in the position. So I don't know. So this was just to bring you guys this information. Obviously, I don't think that it was done with the right intentions. I don't think it's right for him to pretend like they were best buddies. And I'm going to be your biggest advocate if this, you check out as a Green Beret and all this stuff and then turn around and totally do him the way he did. But Kova deleting his entire IG is odd. Yeah, I did a whole video on this when it happened. Deleted his IG and he scrubbed his ex. His ex only goes back to like October 14th. So everything prior to October 14th is gone. So obviously there's things to hide. They've deleted all of Charlie's Prove Me Wrong tour on their YouTube page. You got to wonder, why are we deleting everything? And tpusa is deleting everything. So So we'll see. I mean, the whole point of all this is to hopefully get justice for Charlie. My father was a Marine and he was anything but shady. One of the best men to ever walk this earth. I bet, Elena. Love you, Miss Housewife. Keep fighting, sis. Of course. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. I definitely just wanted to bring this to you guys this morning and just let you guys hear some of it and just put it out there and then show you guys Gary's ex here. He clearly is very upset. Someone tweeted, Gary is so deceitful. Oh, yeah, because I'm the one who illegally recorded the call and I'm the one who conveniently left 30 minutes out of it. He's taking on a lot of heat on the internet. I know that. Let's see. Want to know why Gary... Ooh, what's this? Want to know why Gary Melton is demanding you all believe Fed slap. He scrubbed his employees at the Paramount... Oh, he scrubbed his employees at his Paramount Tactical, but guess what? They are all feds. I'm not suicidal. Nothing to see here. Believe the feds about the feds. Oh, boy. Well, I didn't notice this. This happened 17 hours ago. Well, let's click on this. The page is... Oh, look at this. This page is unburdened by what has been. Okay, now let's look at the next picture. Getting to know the team. Let's try to blow this up. Are you guys seeing this? He deleted everything. Gary Milton, Summer Milton, Jason, Derek, Jessica, maybe, Why would you delete your whole entire... Why would you delete that? Is that not weird? That's weird. Oh, boy. Is that not crazy? Oh, my goodness. This is giving Andrew Colvette vibes. It is. I can't believe he scrubbed his own page. Again, this is how tpusa handles things. So this is not, I guess, shocking, right? Wow. That's interesting. I mean, oh man. Yeah, I think Gary probably recorded it too. Either way, if you didn't do anything wrong, what is the big deal? So they delete the Prove Me Wrong tour, but make a replica of Charlie's crime scene booth at Amfest. Yeah, apparently there's things being said in the Prove Me Wrong tour videos that they don't want people to know, that Charlie was changing his stance on that small country and other things. And I think that they didn't want, if they're changing it to the way they want it, they can't have those videos of him, right, saying something else. So yeah, of course they deleted all of them. Will Gary be changing his name? He might want to after this. He can't sue Mitch for recording. Good luck. Nope. Who all did he take down? We're looking at it right now. So these were all the people that worked at Paramount Tactical. That was their team page. And Gary deleted this. So I'll show you guys. Let's minimize this for a second. And this just shows you that he deleted off his website as of, I wonder if there's like a timestamp on this of when it was deleted. Doesn't look like it. But this was put up yesterday, 17 hours ago. So he wiped his website of all the staff. You got to wonder why. They're under pressure by the same donors Charlie was. They aren't standing up to them. No, clearly not. Yes, Philly. So when people want to go to the kitchen, but they don't want to feel the heat is crazy. Exactly. Honestly, I didn't even realize that, you guys, because I'll be honest, I've been in La La Land. I've been trying to just like rest a little bit. I still have a little bit of a cough and stuff, but I've been trying to just like sort of keep up. And I must have looked at the wrong time to where I didn't see this part, but I saw the leaked footage about Mitch Snow, the conversation. So I jumped on that. And then in the process, looking at his stuff, found this. Unrelated, do we know if the kids are biologically Charlie's? We don't. I don't know for a fact if that is or not. Hopefully they all quit. Didn't want to work for a man-child moron. I have a feeling that's not the case. I'm sure one of them is his spouse, probably. Candace is watching Gary. Make no mistake about it. Oh, I'm sure she is. The way Candace is going, she should run for president. I don't think she wants to be president. She's got to take care of her kids. Her kids come first. Yeah, half tpusa board is military and intelligence psyops. Yeah, they do have a lot of like the, what is it, their council or whatever. I have heard a lot of rumors that they are not. I feel he found out. I'm sure he was starting to. I think they are. His son looks exactly like him. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that his kids are his kids, but I don't know. I don't know if there's proof otherwise. Let's see. Wow, that was fast. Yeah. Gary needs a timeout. Sit in your hands if you need to, Gary. That's what I said in the beginning of this live. I said maybe Gary needs to take an internet break or a technology break. honestly, after what happened on his live, if that was me, I would have definitely taken an internet break. Leave kids out of this, can we please? I agree. I think I have not talked about the kids being biologically his or not. I'm more focused on other things. That was a question someone asked, so I gave what I thought. Not to mention the Frank Turk interview saying JD and Erica. Yeah, I went over that yesterday in a video. Yeah, if you want to email anything over to patriotichousewife@gmail.com, that's where you can send all that info. I appreciate that. I'll be looking into that stuff now that we just found this. Erica refused to answer, where is Charlie's body? Yeah, I don't know what to think of that. You hear all kinds of crazy info on that. Where's the autopsy? In Utah, it's not public record, so that would be up to Erica to release. Did you watch the last live stream from Trigger Smart? I watched part of it. I was actually in the chat a little bit. But yeah, I watch Matt's stuff. Matt's been in a live here on my channel. Matt is usually actually in the comments in my lives often too. Matt's great. Patriarch Housewife, your channel is exploding. Thank you, Mark. Tony, we're just gonna do that because I'm not gonna have people talking like that. Not today. We're not doing that. Let's see. When we get the autopsy, it'll be with the feds. Wanted to say, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not even asking for that anymore. Let's see. All right, guys, I'm just going to read any super chats that are in, and then we'll probably, let's see, did FT say that about Vance and Erica before or after the CBS interview? So that interview was from Frank Turk's podcast. Apparently it happened around like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago. So before her press tour, I believe. I could do a video on the whole entire podcast that they did if you guys want. But yeah, it was pretty early into it when they did that podcast. Candace has more information she knows, but can't say it because the disinformation campaign so leaked because one misspoken word would give them ammo they could get on that one word and mess up truth. Yeah, I believe she knows way more than she's putting out. I agree. Let's see. Her press tour ruined any chance of that. Thank God. Yeah, I think the more that she talks, it's not doing her any favors. Let's see. Please like the video and hit the bell so you get notified when this for this channel. Thanks. Thank you so much. Blessed Mom from Texas. So if you guys sign up for alerts and then you guys notice that like the alerts turned off, apparently it's something YouTube is doing. There's a lot of suppressing of channels. And what they do is they turn off the alerts if channels are speaking about certain things. So I know there's been people that have said, oh, well, I signed up for the alert and my phone didn't go off or whatever. So just know that that's a thing. Why has Charlie's family not said anything publicly? I assume they are afraid. I think they've been told not to talk. That's why. I also think they're terrified. Heavy Duty Country was the only one who remained neutral. Let's see. Laugh out loud, Gary and Nate. Drawing Candace into a trap is hilarious. They keep stepping on rakes with every move they make. Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of mishaps happening, to say the least. Corruption at the top all the way to the bottom. Yeah, there's corruption everywhere for YouTube. It's funny. Let's see. I think Charlie's parents have been warned. I think they're heartbroken and they want to speak out, but they're afraid that that's just my. But yeah, I agree with you. I wonder if they even get to see their grandkids. It's so sad. Charlie should be here. He should, and that is sad. I'm sure they do spend time with their grandkids. Brian, it's blocking your super chat. I don't know what's wrong. Sometimes, depending on the word you're putting in the super chat, that's YouTube. So if what you're writing is inappropriate in the super chat, YouTube might stop that. I can't think of what the other thing was that can cause a problem. I'm not sure. You're so pretty. I'm obsessed with your furniture. Thank you. My furniture I did on my own. I refurbished furniture. And so, but it's a mess from my house fire. So it's something I'm going to have to either I don't know. I got to get all that figured out. But thank you. Elena, apparently the kids are with Glenn back in Idaho. I've heard Glenn Beck is watching the kids a lot, but I don't know. My blessed mom from Texas, do you have Cash App or Venmo? If so, can you put it in the title, please? So, blessed mom from Texas, if you go to my channel and you scroll over to where it says like community and you go in my bio, like you hit more, all my links pop up for like Cash App, Venmo, my Rumble, my Instagram, all that stuff is in the bio. So if you just go to my main page, all those are there. Apparently the kids are with, oh yeah, I already read that, Glenn Beck in Idaho. I do think that's interesting though, that Glenn Beck is watching the kids often, if that is true. I'm wondering what happened to him. Let's see. Lance, where is he? Yeah, we all want to know where Lance is. It's weird. Apparently the kids, oh yeah, Elena already read that. I've had comments respectfully fully deleted on this topic on YouTube. Yeah, they're doing a lot of suppressing and a lot of censoring. Survival is paramount. Journalism is not. My alerts are definitely turned off by them. Yeah, it's happening a lot. A lot of people are talking about that. Thank you, blessed mom from Texas. Yeah, it's just easier for me to put all of those in my link or in the bio. It's just easier because then when I'm in live and we're all in chat, I could just guide you guys there versus me having to stop to like look for it. I appreciate that though. Yeah, I don't know how much YouTube takes. I can't remember what the percentage is from super chats and stuff. I'm sorry I'm lost. I don't know. What did Glenn Beck do? I'm sorry, guys. I just can't keep up with you guys. Glenn Beck didn't do anything. People are just saying that Glenn Beck is helping watch the kids. So Jimmy Dore posted a great video of Financial Channel yesterday breaking down how Jake Collier, I can't even pronounce that last name, the Arizona politician, has been tied to fraud, and a lot of people named Farnsworth are involved. Strange. Yeah, that's all alleged. We're just going to say that. I watch Wolves and Finances videos. I keep up with those. Tyler's family has left the state along with Furry Boy. We never get anything from the people that can really help the most. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with his family and all that stuff. What didn't Glenn Beck do to cover up tpusa and military pastors and Zionists, concluding Tyler's guilty? Yeah, well, Glenn Beck is obviously seems close to Erica, so I don't know. No, you guys. Sorry, the dogs are fighting over a bone. I'm late. I will have to watch the replay. Yes, go back to the beginning. Let's see. Is Twigs in protective custody? That's what they claim. Stop sniffling. I can't. Sorry, guys. I'm still getting over being sick. Don't know what to tell you. I think Gary grew up in Michigan but lives in West Virginia. Yeah, that's what people were saying earlier. He lives in West Virginia. Let's see. I'm trying to find something that shows Tyler's parents confirmed they did turn him. Where did that comment go? You guys are moving so fast. Oh, they did turn him in. Have you found one? No, I haven't found anything showing that he actually turned himself in because I don't think he did. And if he did, I still don't believe he confessed. Let's see. Yeah, people will always find something to complain about. It's fine. Stop breathing, patriotic housewife. People are weird. Oh, you should see this stuff. I mean, it's real. I sit here and laugh. My husband and I crack up. We're like, people are just got nothing better to do. It's funny. Stop being sick. How dare I? How dare I? I hope he does too. He'll regret it. All of this info will be revealed too. Yeah. If he's actually going to do it, I really hope he's aware. Let's see. It shows that Fort Huachuca is used for and why it's interesting. I definitely think that ever since Fort Huachuca came up and this whole Mitch thing, it really made a lot of people upset. Like it's got people wound up. So it makes me wonder. You have to believe that we're onto something or there's something there because so many people are just so upset. So that's my opinion. So Mikey knew without even looking that Charlie had been taken out. How far in advance do we assume Erica won and Charlie gone? Was it from day one? Was the whole relationship a psyop? That's a good question. I don't know how long Mikey knew for, or I mean, I don't know. That hasn't been proven yet. Valhalla doesn't agree with Paramount. I don't know that he agrees or disagrees. He has said numerous times that they are good friends. He talks to Gary. I know he said he didn't agree with Gary going on tpusa. He didn't think it was a great idea, but I know that they're friends. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see why this aspect is so triggering and not the others. That's what I've asked too. We've had 1,000 different theories come out. And so I think it's interesting that, the exploding mic doesn't offend anybody. You know what I'm saying? The electrocution theory, nobody was in an uproar about that, but this Fort Huachuca and Mitch thing has everyone up, or it's the only thing we're told not to talk about. So it's weird. Watch Trigger Smart. I already did. For those of you that are new or have never been in a live here, Matt's been in lives here, and he's even joined our lives, and we've chatted about things. He actually asked me to be in the New Year's Eve live he did, but I was at a friend's house. Otherwise, I would have popped in there and did the group live. That would have been fun. Maybe next time. Tyler's parents were tricked by his neighbor, who was a fed to go clear his name of false accusations before SWAT came and shot everyone by accident. An old Boy Scout leader is like a teacher you trust. Yeah, I knew that, Marty. Let's see. Ian Carroll also puts all this on Gary, not Nate. I didn't delete Nate, but Gary is history now. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of internet drama right now amongst creators. I'm just staying in my lane and minding my own business. Mm-mm-mm. So the exploding mic was done on Trigger Smart. I think it was John Bray was his name. Prior military. He did a whole. I suggest you go to Trigger Smart and watch that. It was a really good interview. And he does a ton of explaining. The meeting says security conspiracy to commit murder. Allegedly, we'll see what else comes out. How about the guy from tpusa who took a selfie of people running and he's just chilling and filming? Yeah, Terrell Farnsworth did that. The camera guy. The exploding mic was made in a plant in Tennessee, brought to an event by Pastor Jack Hibbs, Brother Butch. By the way, 30 days after this whole thing happened, that plant in Tennessee blew up. Isn't that interesting? What company was it? You'd have to go to Trigger Smart's video. I don't remember. And at the end of the day, guys, we just have to pray about it. There's not a whole lot we can do. We can talk about it. We can share information. We can do our best, but we will say, okay, I didn't know. I thought he said he was military. John Bray is a scientist. Okay. Well, he did a really good interview on Trigger Smart. Let's see. Why isn't the IRS investigating tpusa? That's a good question. We all want to know the answer to that. They can't use the frangible bullet theory anymore. Did you see the video of what a frangible 30-06 round did to human ballistic mannequin, as well as other items, meat bones, and cinder blocks? Yes, Trading Pennies. I watched Matt's video the day he put it out. And actually, we went over it on my last live. We watched part of it. Yeah, that's what it is. John Bray has contracts with the military for some of his products, I think. Yeah. I knew he had something to do with like the military. Heck, your energetics in Tennessee, 10 to 10. Yep. The Vance Kirk conversation was so unbelievably revealing, completely locked in a bubble. Yeah, it was pretty sickening to watch. The plant exploding, extremely interesting. Yeah, convenient too. So all this is going on. Candace is silent 2 weeks with no podcast. She should step in. She did an X Live, which I recorded. It's on my page. So she did step in and have an open mic night on X where she was questioned about several people who had questions about Mitch and several parts of the theory. I suggest you go watch that, and then she'll be back on Monday. And she's been tweeting like crazy. She is coming back on Monday. She's already announced that. Let's see. Yeah, Candace doesn't have to Candace doesn't have to jump in at all. Whenever she wants to come back from break, that's up to her. She takes time with her family, and she should. No problem. Yeah, just go watch the live. It's under my lives. And it'll say like Candace X discussion or whatever, and listen to it. There's a lot of people talking. Ian was in there. Harrison from InfoWars was in there. Sam Parker was in there. Ryan Matta was in there. Morgan Ariel. There were 2 factory explosions. One was, yeah. Notice how Ian was silent in that podcast. Yeah, he really didn't say much. He stepped in for like a minute and then that was it. I think he's trying to stay out of all the drama. I don't think he really wants to be involved. He was in there, but might as well not have been. Yeah, he stayed quiet. John Bray knows how to program. Mitch Software, he's not a dummy. He's genius computer scientist. Correct. He's very smart. Like me explaining the mic explosion, like you just need to go to Trigger Smart's video with him listen to the interview because I can't even explain. It's got the chemical that was in there. There's so much to that. Last night, Gary was saying on his live that it is possible for a 30-06 to get lodged in the neck. All right. Yeah, and the sky is purple while we're at it. And the Easter Bunny is real. Let's see. MIT Software. Yes, Smarty. There were 2 factory explosions. One was Radford Army Ammunition Plant in Virginia, and the other was Accurate Energetic Systems near Bucksmart that killed 16 people. Alex Jones, though. Yeah, Alex Jones has lost it. I might do a separate video on him, but he's unhinged right now. I think JD would be smart to separate from Erica. Yeah, I would have probably started distancing myself already, but we shall see. Ian had been coding super tired. Yeah. But I also, I've watched, part of his lives, and, he really doesn't want to be in the middle of all these people arguing. He's openly said, I don't want to be in the middle. Jody, the woman that you hear on that video is his wife, I believe. All right, I'm going to read these super chats and then we're going to get off here, guys. I just want to pop on here and go over this a little bit. And then I'm going to figure out what other things I'm going to dig into to do some videos on for you guys. And we will go from there. By the way, Coach Colin found that clip of Gary you couldn't sit through to find, just FYI. Yeah, I have the clips. So I have the 2-hour conversation. And I played the clips in the beginning. I played a good amount of stuff. So if you go back to the beginning of the live, we went over all that. We are not going to sit through a 2-hour conversation. And I chose to go live to talk about parts of the conversation versus doing a video on it, just so we could talk about it. But I will figure out what videos I need to do for you guys, talk about certain things and dig into other aspects of what this whole entire case. Good afternoon. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Welcome in. All right. So I'm going to read these super chats. We have Alicia. You are awesome. Your work is absolutely amazing. So happy for you. God is so good. God bless you and your family. Same to you, Alicia. Thank you so much for being here and for spending time in my lives. I know you've been in here multiple times now. I appreciate your kindness, and you're always so respectful in your support. I really enjoy having people who can be kind on the channel. It's really nice to have a nice community. Let's see. Is this DO3929? Thank you for the membership for the channel. I appreciate that support. It's always nice to see all the members and how much the channel's growing. I'm excited for that every day when I get to see everybody and just have these nice conversations about all the craziness. Let's see. What does MN government and tpusa have in common? You're talking about Minnesota government? Patty? I have not. I mean, I know about what's going on with the whole the fraud, but I haven't like deep dive. Like I haven't done a deep dive into that. There are certain things that I'm like kind of like still trying to figure out how I feel about some of this stuff. Thank you, blessed mom from Texas, for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Thank you, Silver, and I can't even pronounce. Is that a last name? Barber? Thank you so much for the super sticker. That was super sweet of you. Yeah, the fraud is crazy. But I'm still like looking into some of that and feeling things out. I do think there's several things going on, and it's sometimes I give things a few days to like see what, you know what I mean, give things a minute to breathe. It's why I didn't jump on the whole Mitch thing at first. I gave it time for more information to come out. Yeah, Nick Shirley's video. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you so much. I love you. Keep up the good work. Your channel is awesome. Thank you for doing what you're doing. No problem. I love it. I love being a part of this space. I'm truly enjoying myself. So I appreciate that, you guys. Thank you, Silva, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. That was super kind of you. Love your work, Patriotic Housewife. Have you addressed Jordan Henshaw's work? I have not. I've actually never even heard of Jordan Henshaw. I will have to look into that. Jay, thank you so much for the membership. I appreciate that. If they say anything, they won't see the kids. Yeah, I think they definitely have to tread lightly for sure. It's a touchy subject. Project Constitution published the call on their channel. Yeah, I went over that Undercover Agent earlier. We listened to it, and I also have the 2-hour version. That's under Stu Peters, who originally released that. So we already went through that. If you go back to the beginning of the live, we went through all that. So let's see. Dr. Tetanus, thank you for the membership. I appreciate you. Thank you guys all for joining. I appreciate you guys. There'll be more videos to come. I will be building more off of the video that I posted. I titled it about Megyn Kelly, but it goes into the pizza party stuff. And it was just going over this interview that she did with on Fox back in 2016 to kind of just go over, in case people have forgot all about certain things that have happened in the past. I really wanted to go over it. There's a lot of people who didn't even know about some of that stuff. So it was interesting to do, and I definitely want to dig into that stuff. So I think Gary is from West Virginia from what I heard. So we'll see. You started a membership train? Yeah. That's awesome. I'll have to look at this information that you guys are talking about. What is this? Let's see. No, Chanel, no. I'll have to look into that with the Minnesota fraud case, and then I'll do a video on it. Let me dig more. Marty, thank you for the super chat. You rock. Keep up the good fight. Of course, that's my goal. That is the goal. One day at a time. So I am so glad I did this with you guys. I hope everyone had a great New Year's Eve. I hope we all have a great 2026. I know mine is starting off wonderful. I'm glad I get to be here with you guys and do something that's fulfilling, that hopefully matters. Hopefully it helps. And I appreciate all of you guys being in here with me for the last hour and 40 minutes. And I will see you guys all on Monday. Monday, I'll be live again. After Candace Owens' show, we'll go straight into our live to talk about whatever was shared and more information that came out. In the meantime, I'm going to be going through some things and recording some videos today on other things that I want to talk about so that we can put that out over the next couple days. But this whole situation, I felt like we could just do a live and kind of go over it, and then we'll go from there. So as far as I understand, Cabot Phillips' alibi for the store has not been debunked. So I have not seen anyone say that is that it has been. To my knowledge, from what we looked at, it looks like it's still not a good alibi, but we'll see. I'll look and double check, and then I can always do a follow-up video, but we'll see. So we will see. Hi, yeah, it's not that I'm not feeling good. We've been on here for an hour and 45 minutes, but you guys can go back to the live. I'm going to post it like a video, and everyone can go back and start the live from the beginning. So we'll go, I'll go through things, and I'll see what I can find too to update stuff. Everyone have a great rest of your weekend. And I hope everyone has a safe rest of the weekend. Enjoys time with their family, make memories, take a break from the internet. And I will see you guys all on Monday. Have a good week.